the type of food that we must avoid as much as we can would be?
I hate this question. And I'll tell you why I hate this question. Because out there in the wellness world, there's always like, don't eat this, eat that, replace it with this. This is not good. And you're already starting from a place of being deprived.
Hello everyone. Today we have Theivanya Udayan, who is a health and wellness coach. She is responsible for women to know their bodies and try and be their own healer through food habits. And before this, she was a very successful corporate lady who used to fly around the world doing finance, audit. Or you were an auditor.
Auditor. Oh, I'm so sorry that I was an auditor. Oh.
But you were very successful as well, Tay. First of all, welcome to Million Opinions.
Thank you.
I'm so excited that you're here.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for having me as your guest.
So tell me your story. Where are you from? How long have you been in the UAE?
So I am originally from South Africa in Cape Town. Guys, go to Cape Town, the most beautiful place on the world. And I had moved here in 2015. I was previously working for an accounting firm, as you know, auditing, and I moved over here doing that. And then I really got hit with really bad kind of illness, and I just couldn't figure it out, and it was all my hormones all over the place. Kind of went to various doctors trying to understand what was going on, and I got told that I had PCOS and also fertility issues at that time. And you can imagine, I'm brand new to the UAE. I don't really have any friends. I don't know how the medical system works. I'm away from my family and my friends. I literally felt so isolated. And so far, now, I've been here for about 9 years. So I just carried on. And I didn't kind of pay attention to any of my symptoms or what was going on. And I was just like, oh no, I have a plan, and this is what I'm going to do success-wise in like what I want to be. I want to be the next manager, and I want to, climb out the corporate ladder, all these things. And now when I think about it, I was like, I was driving myself into the ground at a very, very fast pace until your body's extremely smart. It'll be like, if you're not going to make time for me to rest, I'm going to force you to rest. And that's exactly what happened to me. It got to such a bad stage where I was chronically fatigued. I had the worst brain fog. I had put on so much weight. My skin had got really bad. I had lost my period completely. And for any woman who obviously still has their period, you're like, oh, okay, whatever. I can lose it for a few months. But what I didn't realize then is that loss of my menstrual cycle had meant that my body had completely shut down. So I actually had quit my job, went back home for a couple of months, and I was like, I have to figure out what is going on with my body. And I couldn't do it here because it kind of all the doctors I went to, I just felt like I was getting like gaslight. I'd go there and they'd be like, oh, well, this is normal. This is just, a normal woman problem. And this is just part of being a woman. And now when I hear these kind of things, it infuriates me because so many women are kind of just pushed aside. And then until something gets really, really wrong, then a doctor will kind of take you seriously. And I'm all about preventative medicine, like prevent something from happening before it gets really bad. And like human nature, we wait for something to get bad and then we're like, oh, okay, let me do something about this. That's like in a nutshell, my quick story about how I kind of entered into the nutrition world and very specifically women's health. Because if you think about it, in 1993, that's not a long time ago, women, you had to include women in your research. Before then, women weren't included. So they would take research based on men and then just kind of, take a percentage of that and be like, oh, well, this is just for women. So that's how the whole slogan of women are just small men came along. But women's physiology and men's physiology are completely different. Hence why female and male. So just women's health has never been taken seriously. And only now, recently, have we been getting so much data about how we can actually support women's health, which is phenomenal, which I wish I had 10 years ago when I had PCOS. And then I was just given, oh, well, here's the contraceptive pill and here's metformin or glucophage and go on your way. Just take these and manage your symptoms. You'll be fine. Come back to me when you want to have children. And you kind of left there and you're like, what am I meant to do? You know, you go to doctors, and I'm not saying all doctors, I love doctors, but you go there to get answers. You go there to feel comforted. You go there leaving knowing that, okay, you're going to be okay. And every single time I went there, I was more confused. I was frustrated. I didn't know what was going on. So that's why I was like, you know what? I can't rely on someone else to take care of my health. That's when I was like, I am now going to go study this and figure out what is going on in my body. And then that's how the whole nutrition thing happened.
So you went and studied what exactly?
So I first wanted to study dietetics. And I went into dietetics, and then I realized, I'm like, this is what's kind of wrong, not wrong, but why everyone is confused. Because I don't want to learn about macros and carbs and proteins. Okay, cool, yeah, that's nice. But I want to know exactly how the body functions. How does the liver communicate to the kidney? How is the kidney communicating to your spleen? How is the spleen communicating to your brain? All of these things, I want to know how the body runs. Because when you know the how, then you know what to do. Right? So I actually then found a very wonderful university in the States, in California, and they teach you holistic nutrition. So the holistic in the sense of, I know it sounds like, you know, all woo-woo and like, oh, it's holistic, but the true meaning of holistic is you work with all the parts of your body. So nutrition is just one part of health. But then what's happening with your mental health? What's happening with your sleep? What's happening with your movement? What's happening with your stress? All of that affects everything. If I say to you, Carlton, okay, cool, you are having the most amazing salad, steamed broccoli, some beans, or you have all the colored vegetables there, and then you're sleeping 2 hours and you're super stressed, how much do you think that meal is actually going to impact your health? It's 5% of everything that's going on, right? And why I wanted to do the holistic way is because I realized with myself that if I was, you know, I was eating I felt I was exercising, I was eating all the right things. Why am I not changing? Why am I not getting better? Until like my amazing mentor who kind of was like, okay, but let's look at what else is happening. When are you sleeping? When are you waking up? What's your morning ritual? What's your evening ritual? How are you living? Are you just blatantly going through life, or are you living life? And then that's when it like hit me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm on autopilot all the time. I'm not living my life. I'm just going through each day without actually having any appreciation for my body, not saying thank you, not you know, having kind of any respect for what's going on. So that's why I wanted to go do the holistic way. And nutrition is a big part of my life, a massive part. And I think, you know, that is the 50% that got me to where I am. And then the other 50%, the exercise, the lifestyle, the stress, the sleep, all of these kind of things impacted me.
You said that you left your corporate job because you didn't have much time. And here you're doing one-on-one coaching with an individual. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the hardest, how easy it is working with someone when they just start off coaching with you, when it comes to motivation?
So what's really funny, right, is that, so obviously I left the corporate world because I was like, you know, if I'm going to put so much energy into something and it's taking up a lot of my life, I want to do something with purpose. I went into work every single day being like, what am I doing? Like, you know, I would do my job during the week, and then weekends, I would do all my nutrition coaching and the women's health. So it was just literally 7 days of back to back. But the 5 days, I wasn't happy. The 2 days, I was super happy. So when, for example, and a lot of my clients are in corporate, right? A lot of them have jobs. A lot of them are moms who have a job. A lot of them are struggling with hormonal issues who have a job. So I think for me, because I was there and I understood how hard it was to get myself motivated when things weren't going right, because there was a lot of testing and, you know, sometimes things would go wrong and I'd be like, okay, let's go back to the drawing board. Let's figure out what's going on. So because I went through so many years of that, I can now condense all that knowledge, all the research, all the studying that I've done and make it into a nice little package. So when you come to me, where, you know, you kind of felt like you've hit rock bottom, we're not starting from square one. We're starting from a place of now I can pick up things really quickly within you that maybe I had struggled with, and then I know, not anecdotal, not personal experience, but actually I can be like, okay, I know what's happening in your body. Let's now start from like ground one. And when you say motivation, you know, when someone comes to you for this kind of work, they are willing to do anything because they are now vulnerable. They will grasp at anything that you can help them with. And it's a good thing and a bad thing, because sometimes you'll just take advice and it could be very harmful for your body, right? And I see that happening a lot with this wellness industry. Take the supplement, do the detox, all this kind of stuff. And it frustrates me because I was in that position where I would take anything. I would go on a 12-day juice fast, ridiculous thing, because I just wanted anything to make me feel better. So when women come to me, I'm very clear on how I work. I'm like, I'm not going to put you on some detox. We are not going to be working on weight loss or anything. I'm going to work with your body. You're going to work with your body. You're going to understand your body, because I don't want this to be a 3-month thing. I want this to be a lifelong thing until you're in your 90s and you still know how to look after your body. That is what, so when you say motivation, I think the motivation comes because I'm like, we're working with you. We're working with your body. We're working with your physiology. This is what we're doing. And because, I could give you the best program in the world. I can be like, oh, Carlton, here, 3 months. It's going to transform your life. But then life happens. Maybe you had a really stressful day the week before. Maybe there's something happening with personal family issues. And then you kind of feel yourself falling off the track very slowly. So my whole program is about accountability. I want to be there for you when you feel like, I just don't want to cook. I can't do that workout. I can't go do my meditation today. I just don't feel like doing anything. Cool. Let's see what you can do today. Something is better than not doing anything at all. So having that accountability partner, always knowing that you have that support even on the good days or the bad days, I just think encompasses like what I wish I had back then. And this is what I want to give to women, to know that you heard, you supported. We're going to do everything we can to get you to love yourself and to love your life and to love everything that comes with it. So yeah, that's my little blurb.
So you said that you help women with their dietary needs and essentials in order to heal themselves. But don't you think it works good as a partnership when everyone in the house has the same kind of food?
100%. Look, I'm not generalizing here, but let's say 9 out of 10 times it's the woman or the mom who is making the food, making the dinners, packing the lunches, making that home environment, right? Which I absolutely love. I'm not saying, women should only be doing this, but naturally you fall into that progression, and they still have their work, they still have their hobbies. So what I love, and I find this the majority of the time, is that when the women start cooking their meals, these balanced, healthy, beautiful, nourishing meals, then, they're like, oh, well, I'm going to cook it for my husband tonight. Oh, the little one also had a little bit of this, and or the lunch, I actually packed it for a snack for my little one. So your family naturally gets kind of included in this whole thing. And this is what I love. Like, I love when she's also supported by the husband and by the kids and whoever's living in their house, whether it be the in-laws or whoever it is, because that support is also a different kind of motivation. It is a motivation of love, and it just takes you to another place where you're like, okay, if I can cook this meal and everyone's going to enjoy it, maybe they might not enjoy all the meals. Fine, it doesn't matter. If they're going to enjoy one out of those meals, I'm happy, because I know how nourishing those meals are. And what I love is that you'll see the kids starting to get these healthy habits, because now mom started it. Mom and dad are now doing it together, and now the kids are getting involved. So what I love is from such a young age, they're already being aware of their body. They're already being aware of how to nourish themselves, their mind, their everything. So when they do grow up into young adults, whatever it is, they'll be like, oh, do you know what? Mom used to always do this with us, and mom always used to do that. And I think there's nothing better in this world where you love your body, you understand what's going on in your body, and you know how to work with it and not constantly against it.
The common myths that you find your clients have?
When it comes to nutrition,
when it comes to nutrition, yes.
When it comes to nutrition. I think, let me tell you actually the biggest thing. Mm-hmm. Is that when they see how much I'm actually giving them to eat, they're like, are you crazy, Thay? We can't eat this. Like, I'm going to put on weight. I'm going to, this is crazy. And I'm like, what you need to understand is that every single day, your heart is beating, your lungs are pumping, your kidneys filtering, your liver's detoxing. Do you think any of those organs are ever going to take a day off and be like, you know what? Today I don't feel like pumping the heart. You're going to die. So they never take a break. So when you are on such a calorie deficit, or if you've gone through years of maybe not paying attention to your body because you want to look a certain way, or you think you should look a certain way from societal norms, your body is super resilient. So it is going to try its hardest, no matter how bad you treat it, it is going to try its hardest to be efficient in getting you to live. But then things are going to start shutting down, right? Your body needs nutrients. Your body needs energy. So when I give them these foods, I'm like, you know what? You can eat all the calories. Let's say you have 1,500 calories. You can eat these calories, but then what's made up of those calories? I don't care about calories. I want to know, what are those foods made up of? Because you'll hear people going, I have crazy cravings. I'm always hungry. I'm always this. But once you give your body enough nutrients, it feels satisfied. It's going to be like, okay, I'm not going to tell the brain to send another signal to be like, I'm hungry, I want something, because you've got it. So the most misconceptions I get is like, I can't eat that much. Like, I've been told that I should only have 1,200 calories, which is atrocious, honestly. And once they start getting and actually eating enough for their body, they drop the weight. And they're like, I can't believe I'm eating so much more and I'm dropping weight. It's because I'm like, yeah, because your body feels safe. Your body doesn't need to hold on to every single little thing, because it's like, okay, guys, we can actually run efficiently here. She gives us food every single day. We can drop whatever the excess weight that we don't need. Let's share it. So I think the misconception is that, I can't eat that much, or women are only meant to eat a certain amount of calories and I can't eat more than my husband. That's ridiculous. And I'm like, for me, it kills me, because I know I was there. I had a terrible eating disorder. And I'm pretty sure that's what caused a lot of my hormonal issues. And then when I started figuring out, I'm like, hold on, wow, the amounts of nutrients that my liver just needs to detox, my breakfast doesn't even cover that. So then that's when I started, kind of educating women, because I honestly think education is lacking with understanding your body. There are over 50,000 types of diets. If a diet worked, you don't think every single person on this population would have the most amazing body, be healthy, be optimal health? There's a reason why diets don't work. It is temporary. Your body is not temporary. Your body is a lifetime of work.
The type of food that we must avoid as much as we can would be?
I hate this question. And I'll tell you why I hate this question. Because out there in the wellness world, there's always like, don't eat this, eat that, replace it with this. This is not good. And you're already starting from a place of being deprived. Do you know what I mean? And I don't want anyone to go into a health space feeling deprived. I want you to think more. What can we add? What can we put on your plate? Instead of being like, take out this. I want to remove the negativity, because the more you know what to put on your plate's not going to have space for the things that shouldn't be there. Do you know what I mean? So it's going to be filled with all the beautiful stuff that you're like, okay, yeah, there's actually no space for maybe the fries or the whatever it is that you wanted. They'd be like, let me finish this. And if I still feel like it, but you don't afterwards, because your body's so nourished and you feel satisfied. And there's also such a misconception that healthy food is boring. It's bland. There's no taste. You have to have a boiled chicken breast and steamed broccoli, or you have to have a salad to be healthy. If someone had to give me a salad for lunch, just a salad, I'm talking lettuce, cucumber, tomato, whatever it is, I would be furious. I'd be like, put some sweet potato in there. Give me some chickpeas, like make it substantial. So I think, look, we all know processed foods. We all know processed sugar. We all know trans fat. I think every single person who lives on this planet, we all know what's not good for us. But then why do we do it? Or, you will read, even with health products, you will read a protein bar and be like, it's a protein bar, and there's beautiful leaves and all these pretty things on the package. This must be healthy. You turn over the package and 90% of those stuff are horrendous, like ingredients wise. And I think because if you don't know how to read ingredients, how many times do you go to the grocery store and you flip something over to look at the ingredients? Probably barely, right? You'll just grab and put it on. But looking at those ingredients are so important, because something that may actually be healthy, gluten-free, whatever they've removed, now they had to fill with something. What are they filling it with? What are they filling the low-fat milk with? What are they filling, I don't know, a gluten-free bread? Sometimes that gluten-free bread has so much more junk in it than just your plain whole wheat normal bread, which has 3 ingredients. So, I mean, what I try to do is that, especially what might be not so great for me, I don't do well with dairy, especially for my hormones. And actually, generally for female hormones, we know dairy isn't the best. I see it a lot in my autoimmune clients as well. Those are rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, thyroid. I mean, I can't tell you the amount of thyroid clients I have with Hashimoto's, or whether it's Graves' disease. We know certain foods aren't the best. But then what might be good for me might not be great for you. And that's why I work with the person. And I'm not going to give you a cookie cutter diet. You might love aubergines, but I know I'm severely allergic to aubergines with the nightshade family. Do you know what I mean? So everyone is so different, and you actually have to find what works for you. If you're eating dairy and you're telling me, oh my God, my tummy feels like a knot, or I'm going to the toilet 6 times a day. Also listen to your body. It is giving you signs. Do you know what I mean? So we all know the top 5 things that are bad. Trans fat, processed sugar, highly processed foods. We know these things are not the best, and we should stay away from them as much as possible. Do I have cake sometimes? I love cake. I have such a sweet tooth. Will I have a pizza? Of course I'll have a pizza. Will I have it multiple times a week? Absolutely not. Because I know that's not what my body needs, and that's not what I need. I don't like to wake up fatigued. I don't like to feel tired after meals. I don't like to feel bloated. I don't like to not go to the toilet every single day and feel constipated. I genuinely love the way I live, and I try to get my clients to love the way they live. Because if you cannot do something for 10 days, you cannot do something for 10 years. And that's what I always start off with. I'm like, do you think you can do this for 10 days? And then I'm like, okay, let's take a step back. We're not ready for that yet. So I try to get the consistency within them, the habits, just like you brush your teeth, you tie your shoelaces, all those kind of things. I want you to think of your health and your body the same way. It comes instantly to you. So with the food, again, we work with a person. And when I say processed foods, right, look, I buy the pasta. Am I going to make my own pasta? I would love to, but I just don't. I would love to make my sourdough bread, which is actually fairly easy, but I don't. And I buy it from a really good source, and I know where to buy my products from. But when I talk highly processed, I'm talking about those ones that have about 60 ingredients on there, and you have no idea what they even mean. So when I say processed, it's fine to get processed things now and then. It's convenient. It helps you. But then make sure you have your vegetables. You have your chickpeas, your lentils, whatever it is on the side. So you're kind of like mitigating a little bit of the processed stuff. There's nothing wrong with processed food, but just make sure that you are balancing everything out.
So do you get enough time for yourself, or are you always with your clients? Or because you're so passionate about this, does this keep you up at night?
So I'll tell you something that's really funny. And my husband actually says this to me the other day. He's like, so I'm very much like an empathetic person. Like, I'm a huge empath, where he's very much a sympathetic person. And when I went in this because I don't want women to struggle, because I know how I felt. So when I get a client and, your consultation be an hour. Have I ever had an hour consultation? Never in my life. It's either an hour and a half, 2 hours. Sometimes if they really, really hit rock bottom, your consultation can be 2 hours, because I'm there for you. I'm not there on a timer. And I want you to feel that you've been heard, you've asked all your questions. Even if you haven't, you can WhatsApp me. We'll figure it out. But it used to keep me up at night, because I'd be like, oh my gosh, I know that X client has this. Okay, in the morning, I know what I do. I'm going to message her this, and then I'm going to research this part, and then I'm going to actually ask my mentor, who's a doctor or fertility specialist, this is the program that I'm thinking to give her. Should I do this? Should I not do this? And like, I will go on, and it's just like a crazy hamster in my head. And one of my mentors, who's an amazing reproductive endocrinologist, she's like, once every 3 months, like, I need you to go for some sort of energy healing, whether it's Reiki, whether it's acupuncture, and I need you to get released, because what's happening is you're keeping your emotions plus everyone else's emotions in you, and that's actually really toxic. So you need to find ways of releasing that. That's why my meditation is so important to me. every single day. And I feel it when I don't meditate because I want to show up for me. I want to show up for my family and I want to show up for my clients. That's a lot. And I had to put boundaries. I never knew about boundaries. I would take consultations at 10 p.m. at night until, my family was like, okay, but hold on, what are you doing? Because now you're working from 6 o'clock in the morning till 11 p.m. Where's the balance? And you keep on preaching to everybody else, balance, 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 balance. But here you are not doing what you're speaking. So I was a huge, in my whole self, I was a huge contradiction. So now understanding boundaries, understanding that I need to release that energy because it's just my personality, my type. It's helped me honestly become, I think, even it's becoming better for my clients. I can show up for them. But that boundary is such a huge thing. And as women, it's just, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is with the yes and, oh, I'll take it on. You don't stress. Let me do it. They take on so much until your body's like, do you know what? We're done here. Figure it out. We're going to take a little break until you can actually help me out here. So with my moms, with my wives, with my, CEOs, whatever it is, we're like, hey, every single Monday, we're like, what are going to be the boundaries today? Where are you going to put your foot down? Because we first do, what do we need for you within this week? What do we need for your body? And then I'll hear, oh, but Monday morning I got this. Oh, but Thursday evening I got a dinner that I need to go to. I'm like, okay, let's understand that. Let's break it down. Where can we start clearing up your schedule? Because it's very easy for you to make a meeting, right? It's very easy for you to book a dinner with a friend. Why is it so hard for you to book a date with yourself? To book a date for your health? Why is that so hard? Because why? We take our body for granted. It's running every single day, 24/7. It runs naturally. It's an involuntary response. So why should we do something about it?
So you are a holistic coach, holistic and wellness coach, Grow with the Flow coach on Instagram. You're very active over there. You work with a lot of experts in the industry as well in order to empower women. What are you having in the pipeline at the moment, and what are your plans for the future?
So I kind of wanted to, so after obviously I studied holistic nutrition, did the practical, did all my medical hours, then I really wanted to get board certified in what I'm doing. So got board certified, and then each year the board will actually assess you to be like, are you still competent to be in this field? Because I wanted that accountability for myself. So I'm always on top of the research, top of what's going on, top of the newest things that are happening with women's health. So Grow with the Flow came, so grow with the flow. So whichever flow of life you're in, did you just start your period? Are you in menopause? Are you in perimenopause? Are you going through fertility? So let's find what flow you in and let's help you with that. So I want this platform to kind of, my vision, and I'm currently building an app right now for this, is that I see it as, I want this to be a one-stop shop for women, for whatever query it might be. Oh, well, where do I get organic sanitary pads from? Where do I get creams and makeup that are not going to be harmful and disrupt my hormones? And I want that to be there. I need to find an endocrinologist. I need to find a REI. I need to find a gynecologist. I need to find a fertility specialist. Cool. Come on to Grow to the Flow. We'll have a list of trusted doctors because everyone thinks this is so weird, but once every 2 months, I will go test out doctors around Dubai because I want to know that where I'm seeing my clients, I trust the doctor, that they're not going to get, dismissed over their symptoms. So I'll just go in there as a normal client and I'll be asking questions and I will see how their reactions are. And then that's how I know I can add them to my network list. So Grow the Flow, I want it to be a place where you come there for anything women. If it's food, if it's understanding how to work with your cycle, if it's understanding what's going on with me during menopause and menopause. And I feel so many women are just, that whole sector of perimenopause and menopause, it's really heartbreaking because it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, if you're not getting your period, just go to the side now. We're done with you. And so many changes happen in your body that there was a research that came out that nearly 50% of women go through such heavy depression when they enter that. And it breaks my heart because my mom went through it at the same time where I got my periods. I can just imagine. She was trying to figure out the teenage daughter, herself was going through perimenopause. She was trying to run the household, try to work. And I'm just like, I don't know how she handled it. And so many women just handle it. And how sad that you just want to get through the day. Just get through it without being exhausted or sad or frustrated or feeling depressed. It breaks my heart when I think about that. So I want Grow the Flow to be an empowerment platform for every single woman to get answers, to get help, to whatever questions you be. And like, I mean, people will ask me questions and be like, I'm so embarrassed. Like, I don't even know I can ask you this. I'm like, there's nothing embarrassing. Like, yes, I want to know how many days you poop in a day. That excites me. Like, I want women to feel that they can talk about their bodies, ask the questions, because we weren't taught about it. When I got my period, it's like, well, you bleed or you get pregnant. No one explained the menstrual cycle to me. And it's not anyone's fault. It's just that no one thought it would be necessary. But if you're born with something, such a magnificent tool like your menstrual cycle, we should be screaming it from the top of the roofs. And I'm pretty, like, I say this in the nicest way, but if guys had to get their period, it would be the biggest thing. They'd be like, yo, bro, how was your flow this month? Do you know what I mean? They'd be like, how big was your maxi pad? Mine was the biggest. But for some reason, it has become such a taboo, such a shameful thing. Like, oh, can you give me a tampon, please? I'm like, why are you whispering it? Of course I'll give you a tampon. Like, do you know what I mean? 50% of our population is like this. Why is it such a hush? Why is women's health not at the forefront of this? So, I'm getting really heated, sorry. But yeah, so Grow the Flow is going to be a platform for women's empowerment to find brilliant psychologists, healers, Reiki healers, acupuncture for fertility or menstrual issues or perimenopause, doctors, nutrition, food, exercise. All of this is going to come into this platform.
That's brilliant. And I wish you all the best. Any message you have for all the clients or women in general?
Imagine your friend who is there for you 24/7, or your favorite person, whether it be your grandmother, your mother, your dad, your brother, your sister, whatever it is, your cousin. Imagine that person being there 24/7, supporting you, cheering you on, like just always, always there. And then like, you are like, oh, sometimes you're like, oh my God, yay, I love you. Yeah. And then other times you're like, oh my God, whatever. Like, what are you doing here? I'm not even paying attention to you. But they're still there. They're still there just supporting you. Now I want you to step back, replace that favorite person with your body, because that is what your body is doing for you. Every single day, I want you to do something for your body. If it's maybe out of your lunch, dinner, breakfast, maybe it's the lunch that you have. It's still one good thing that you're doing. Maybe it's a workout that you're doing. Maybe it's waking up in the morning and getting that morning sunlight to activate your whole circadian rhythm. It's one thing. And then within a day, you've done 3 beautiful things for your body. So take that best friend, take that mother, take that grandmother, your favorite person, put your body in that space. And that's how I want you to start thinking about your body. Be a nutrient seeker, not a calorie avoider.